Hey all you minties, this is the Uncanny Omar from Near Mint Condition. And there's this little movie coming out in a couple of months called Black Widow. And because of that movie, Marvel seems to have released a lot of her stories in collected editions. We've had Omnis, we've had Epic Collections, we've had lots of trade paperbacks. We even have a poster book here that I'm going to look at. Mainly today, I am doing an advanced overview of the Black Widow Complete Collection by Mark Waid and Waid Samnee, the Marvel Team Up trade paperback, and that poster book that I mentioned. So please stay tuned. Okay, before I get started, I'd like to thank David Gabriel and the folks at Marvel for sending us advanced copies of these books. We're going to go ahead and start with the Black Widow Marvel Team Up. Alright, so this book comes out on March 11th and retails for $29.99. Let's flip through here and kick this off. There is a Marvel Knights Black Widow Complete Collection. This is by Devin Grayson and Greg Rucka. But I think that one came out back in 2017 and it's still in print. So a lot of these new trade paperback collections with Black Widow are new to the character or have been previously collected in smaller, thinner trade paperbacks. So this one mainly collects the Marvel 2-in-1 and the Marvel Team Up years. None of this material is collected in either the Epics or the Omnibus that I've done an overview of, or the upcoming Epic. So keep that in mind. I did want to make that pretty clear. So this collects Marvel 2-in-1 number 10, Marvel Team Up 57, 82 through 85, 98, 140 and 141, and then material from Marvel Comics Presents 53, 70, and 93. There is all kinds of talent in here. You have Marv Wolfman, you have Chris Claremont, Roger McKenzie, Tom DeFalco, Sal Buscema, doing a lot of the artwork. So the main draw, of course, of the Marvel Team Up was usually Spider-Man teaming up with another Marvel character. It was either the X-Men, Johnny Storm, somebody from the Avengers, but this time these are all the issues where Black Widow appeared. And I know you're probably wondering, why am I not doing upcoming trades coming out on March 4th? This is usually the segment that I do it on. Well, that's because I've covered most of those, and the trades are kind of small this week from Marvel. Mainly it's the big X-Men box set and the Omnis. And I think there is a hardcover of the Marvel 1000. So that's why I am focusing on this. And you can probably tell, like, she's gone through changes too, because it does span throughout the years. I mean, we're talking about comics from the 70s with the Marvel Team Up and Marvel 2-in-1. And then the Marvel Comics Present years. I want to say, Rob Liefeld do any of these? In the 80s. Yep, he did. It's Black Widow and Silver Sable. I thought he did an issue of that. I think Fabian Nicieza was the writer on this. This is one of Rob Liefeld's earliest Marvel works. Got appearances by the Silver Surfer, Shang-Chi, Shield, Boomerang. You have all these obscure characters showing up. That's why one of the reasons why I hope one day we get an omnibus of this Marvel 2-in-1 stuff. I know there's some masterworks at least. By the way, the book has 208 pages. Let's look in the back here for extras if there's any. Again, to keep away from spoilers, even though these are over almost 30 years old, I pixelated that, and we have some original artwork here. Original cover, and then pencil and ink pages. And of course, the official handbook of the Marvel Universe with Black Widow. That's a Frank Miller picture. Okay, next up is the Black Widow poster book. That's what the spine looks like. Here's a little size comparison with the trade paperback of the Mark Waid and Waid Samnee Complete Collection. So it is oversized. Retails for $24.99 and comes out on April 15th. So this is the first time I've seen any of these poster books. I'm going to flip through a couple of images here. And I have to be careful when I turn the pages. I've never seen some of these images. Because they can just be taken away from the spine. Pretty easy. That's how you take them out. It's not like you have to struggle to rip them out or anything or cut them out. They break away from the spine. So we'll just flip a little more through here. I don't want to go through each of these, but just to kind of give you an idea of what you get from this poster book. It's a pretty cool idea. And you have original covers. It's a nice Jay Lee piece of art. George Perez. Really like that Phil Noto cover. Yes! Oh man. It's one of my favorite Uncanny issues. So there is a total of 20 images in this book. Like I said, retails for $24.99 and comes out on April 15th. Here is what those spines of the books look like. Okay, before I talk about the next book, the complete collection, I did want to point out that Web of Black Widow was pushed back until March 4th. It was originally supposed to come out last week, and I did an advanced overview of it in the video that came out last week. So it does come out March 4th. And speaking of last, but certainly not least, is the complete collection of Black Widow by Mark Waid, Chris Samnee. This book retails for $29.99. Okay, so let's get it opened. Written by Mark Waid and Chris Samnee, art by Chris Samnee and Matthew Wilson. We can't forget Matthew Wilson because his colors make this book so much more awesome. So I think a lot of you have probably heard me talk about this run right here. As a matter of fact, this is a run that I wish that they had collected in oversized hardcover, because I think Chris Samnee's artwork would have benefited from that. Now, this is the same team that worked on some of the Daredevil issues. But this is a series that I don't hear a lot of people talk about unless they're talking about specifically Black Widow. The series came out in 2016, and it was originally supposed to be an ongoing series, but I think they dropped it at 12 issues. I'm not 100% sure, but I could have sworn that the way that it was written, especially those first 6 issues, that it was supposed to be a ongoing series. I've seen that. The thing about Black Widow is that she was always a side character, right? Like, she was always guest starring in comic books, and she never really got her own ongoing series, not even like her own solo stories until probably the early aughts. I think I showed a couple of the trade paperbacks, Welcome Back to the Game, or Welcome to the Game, that one there. So for her to be a character that originated in the 60s and not having an ongoing series, it really makes it hard to have these collections. Like, what do you collect? Well, she did have a span of a bunch of miniseries starting in the early aughts, like I mentioned. But even those miniseries and those maxi series really didn't draw me to the character. I mean, I knew she was a badass assassin, but you know, I was like, I don't really need a Black Widow story. It wasn't until I read this that I was taken back and thought, man, she could carry her own comic book. She could be a monthly character, just let Mark Waid and Chris Samnee have at it. They add so many layers to her character and also bring in that espionage kind of stories that I love to read about, and featuring her and just her background. So it is an awesome story. To me, it is probably the definitive Black Widow run. And like I mentioned, I wish this had been collected in oversized format, hardcover format, to give it that kind of treatment. So let's talk about the plot. The plot is pretty simple. Natasha breaks away from S.H.I.E.L.D. because she is being manipulated by this gentleman named the Weeping Lion, and he is telling her that she needs to do these things or she is going to let her friends find out about her hidden past and what she's done. Which I really didn't understand that, because I think most of them know the horrible past that she's had. So, but whatever. Back to the plot. So she does find out how they got her secret, and you go back into her past. All these flashback scenes going back and forth with a flashback and then going back to the present when she was part of the Red Room. And now there's this thing called the Dark Room, all led by the headmistress, who was one of her original teachers that taught her how to be an assassin. So you go back to her first kill, the kills that impacted her life in the present. So you have a lot of guest stars in here too. You have Iron Man and you have the Winter Soldier. But man, the story is so good. That's just the first 6 issues. And then she finds out that one of her past classmates is also part of this new thing called the Dark Room that's training a bunch of little girls to be assassins. So the first half is her kind of breaking away from S.H.I.E.L.D. and finding out about this Weeping Lion and how he got access to her information. And then the next half of this 12-issue collection is how she gets those little girls back from becoming assassins. And that's pretty much it. But mainly, it's this wonderful, beautiful artwork that is a huge drive for this story. Don't get me wrong, I think Mark Waid is a phenomenal storyteller, but Chris Samnee really brings his story to life. It is, to me, the best Black Widow story. 272 pages, $29.99. Let's look at the extras here. Did not mean to go on way too long. Sorry, I know it's not a review of the book. Here's a bunch of the covers. Scotty Young, Annie Wu, Bengal. I think that's for Civil War II, if I'm not mistaken. Not a Civil War. Oh, Joelle Jones. Nice. Carl Keschel, Phil Noto. That's her original outfit. And then you have the issue 1 afterwards here. Now, if you're interested in purchasing any of these books, you can get them from our sponsor, cheapgraphicnovels.com, your online home for brand new graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off the cover price. Cheap Graphic Novels prides itself on packaging your books so they arrive safely and in excellent condition, as well as prompt and helpful service. And check out their bargain bin for even greater deals up to 90% off cover price. And for you mentees, Cheap Graphic Novels is running a special promotion. If you're a first-time customer, let them know you were referred by Near Mint Condition at the checkout, and you'll receive a credit for free shipping on your next order. Now, this is only for U.S. customers. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discounts, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And that was the contents and page count of both of these books, as well as the poster book. Let me know in the comments down below what you're picking up, and if you're excited about the Black Widow movie. I love when movies like these come out because it usually means we get some kind of omnibus, we get epic collections, we get some kind of trade paperback of these characters that appear in these movies. Please don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button, notifications button to let you know when our videos are going live. And speaking of live, join us back tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for Old Reader, New Reader. Wonder Maddie and I are going over Pride of Baghdad by Brian K. Vaughan. We'd love for you to join us live. Again, this was the Uncanny Omar. Thank you for watching, and remember, if it's classy and cool, it must be near mint.